I co-sleep with all my babies, and with the first one I did do it, but not like in a planned way. All I heard about co-sleeping at that time was the dangers of co-sleeping. Never ever do it. So even when I did co-sleep, I remember feeling really guilty, and then I was like really scared. But now with my next two children, I do safely co-sleep, and now that I've learned about safe co-sleeping, I think it's really important to consider it. Even if you don't plan to co-sleep, it's like having like a first aid box. When you have a first aid box, you don't hope someone will get hurt, but you have it just in case. So it's good to have this information just in case you end up co-sleeping. Know the right way to do it so that it's safe for both you and your baby. Hi guys, my name is Siti and I'm a mom of 3, and I currently have a 3-month-old baby, and I do safely co-sleep with my baby, and I thought I'd share about how co-sleeping works in a safe manner. So the first thing to talk about is how human babies sleep. I've done a full video that I will link here if you want more details. But in summary, human babies are one of the few babies that are entirely dependent on their moms, unlike other animals where the baby is born and immediately they can get up and run and can escape from predators. Our babies can't. They're entirely dependent on us, and so they need to be held close to us, and that's why as a defense mechanism they need to sense that you're very close to them. They need to be knowing that you're there, which is why once you put them down, especially at night, they'll wake up. But once you just come even close, as long as they can smell you, they sleep even longer. So this is why I co-sleep, because you just get more sleep. So my current baby was born preterm, so I did not co-sleep in the beginning because it's not safe. It's more dangerous to be co-sleeping with a preterm baby. So co-sleeping is not for everyone. But if it is something that is safe for you, then it can be really helpful. So in the beginning, where I couldn't co-sleep, I would have to be seated up all night. I would prop the pillows up because in the night then baby wouldn't be so sleepy. So in the night, as soon as the baby would wake up, I would have to sit up, breastfeed, then put them back. Then shortly after they would wake up, I sit up. The cycle would repeat until morning. So I would be so exhausted by morning, and in those days I would just sleep mostly in the daytime than in the night. As soon as he became term, which is where he reached the date where he's now a normal like sized baby who was heavy enough, mature enough, I just reverted to co-sleeping, and I find that it gives me so much more peace in terms of like sleeping. Like you find you're so much more well rested. Some people are really anxious about this, and you will not even get any sleep when the baby is there. And so obviously don't be doing this. Like do it if you feel like it's safe for you. There are some people who should not be doing co-sleeping at all, in which case it's really more dangerous. And one of those is if you take alcohol, you're going to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs, then you don't want to be co-sleeping because you can easily then roll over onto the baby. Also, if you're going to be sharing a bed with someone who is a particularly deep sleeper, like they sleep too deeply, you don't want to be doing that. Also, if you're taking any medication that's going to make you like more drowsy than usual, you don't want to be co-sleeping with the baby because obviously then you're not like as fully conscious. If you or anyone in the house smokes, you don't want to be co-sleeping. It's not safe. And finally, if your baby is premature or was born too small, so that's where the baby is born too small for gestational age, then you don't want to be also co-sleeping, which is why also in my case I wasn't, because my baby was born preterm. Co-sleeping is most safe if you're breastfeeding as well. So if you're formula feeding, probably you don't want to be trying this, because when you're breastfeeding a baby, first of all, the positions that are safe for co-sleeping, I'll insert a few pictures, is that you're going to be putting your arm up. It just happens instinctively. You put your arm up a bit above, and so your baby should be kept away from the pillow. So that means that when they're sleeping, like if you're using a pillow, then the pillow can't like go over and cover them. And then there's a curling position that your body will go into, and that position is going to enable the baby as well not to like drift off. They can't drift off down. And then also at the same time, if you're breastfeeding your baby and the baby smells the breast milk, that also keeps the baby at that level position. So it all happens instinctively. But then this is how like science has found that actually that position keeps the baby safe. And breastfeeding a baby is also protective against SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome. So basically, if you're a breastfeeding mama with a full-term baby and on a firm flat surface, because you don't want to be doing this if your bed is too soft, whereby the baby can like just sink too much into it. So you want to be on a firm flat surface and keeping all the covers away from the baby. Like if you use a duvet, then obviously don't cover the baby with that. When I'm co-sleeping, my baby has their own, like usually now that they're old enough, I put them in a sleeping bag of their own, and I don't share it with them. So we're just sharing this bed space, but not like the duvet, because the duvet can easily like cover them as well. You want to make sure also the baby is not next to the edge of the bed. So for me, I make sure that the baby is on the edge where the bed is against the wall, or if they're on that side as well, make sure they can't just be falling in and like wedging into like the space. Make sure there is no space. So those are some of the safeguards you want to be doing. I'm going to link our website below that has trusted information on safe co-sleeping. They also have an image bank which has different co-sleeping positions that can be tried with a partner, even if someone else in the bed. So basically it just means that make sure that you are the one between the other person. Like the baby should never be between you, like two adults, because then they can easily end up getting covered. Do you co-sleep? Did you plan to co-sleep, or did it just happen? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to watch more videos from me, then please do subscribe.